Hey guys, welcome to another pickups video, episode 20. Wow, let's get right into it. Switch games up first, as always. We got Blazing Chrome, published by Limited Run. This game has been on my wish list for a very long time. I finally attained it, kind of by a third-party seller, because Limited Run has, published its stuff, and there is no more of this 16-bit Contra-like. I did buy it digitally back in the day, and in my quest of attaining all digital media in their physical form, here we have it. This will remain sealed. I gotta check this game out a little bit more. It's supposed to be tough as nails, just like Contra. Kind of has like that cheesy vibe to it, right? Like the name alone, Blazing Chrome, and you have a robot with a mohawk. And is this a chick or a super cool dude from a hairband recruited to fight alien forces and save the Earth? Looks awesome. Can't wait to get good at this game, or not. Front Mission 2. Ooh, I'm building up a little Front Mission collection. I do have part 1 and 4. Skipped out on attaining the PlayStation 1 original version of Front Mission 3. It was a bit too pricey, but this is the mech turn-based strategy game. Here we have it. Maybe kind of sort of HD remastered, but still sticking true to its retro roots in some capacity or another. Got the Japanese version because I didn't want to wait for the American version to come out at some point. This does have an English option, if I'm not mistaken, I hope. And yeah, just supposed to be really entertaining turn-based games. I'm a fan of those, and I'm a fan of mechs. So here it is. Cat Quest 3 includes an exclusive map and sticker sheet. So, this is a Diablo-like game involving cats. And as a frenzied collector, I already have part 1, and I have part 1 again with part 2 in this possum pack. This was released way after the original came out. So I'm going to keep this guy sealed and play these two before I move on to the third game, which might be included in a collection further down the line, and I'm good. I'm good if that happens. So but these games are actually supposed to be pretty damn good. I haven't checked them out myself yet, but I'm all for it. A little dungeon crawler, a little cutesy dungeon crawler RPG thing. Shadow of the Ninja Reborn, and this one has a deluxe manual included. That's printed right on the artwork. It's not a sticker, which I found kind of interesting. Published by Inin. Those guys do some good revivals of stuff. Here we have a retro-style 16-bit side-scrolling action game with some ninjas and some
grappling hooks,
that sort of stuff. Never checked out the original wherever that may have been released, probably like the Super Nintendo or something, maybe not. Here it is, Reborn. I'm a big fan of these sorts of games, so I had to scoop this one up. Perhaps the Switch game that I'm most excited about for this video. We got the IGS Classic Arcade Collection. This is a collection of Asian arcade beat-em-ups. Not sure if Chinese or Taiwanese, a little bit of both. We have them in this nifty slipcover with some other stuff, like Mr. Wukong himself there, the monkey. So maybe dealing with some Chinese folklore. We got a collection of freaking 8 games here.
Knights of Valor Plus, Knights of Valor 2, 9 Dragons, Oriental Legend Spooky, Martial Masters, Demon Front, and the Gladiator.
Some of these with online multiplayer support, which is interesting. IGS was a very well-known company, publisher or something in Asia. So there might be some of you guys that have nostalgia towards these games. I've never checked them out myself, but I've been on a arcade beat 'em up kick lately, and this should be right up my alley. And you have 8 titles to play and enjoy, and probably laugh at the cheesiness of them. Kind of like the antiquated quality of these games is kind of part of the allure for me, and how ridiculous some stuff included in these games was. Yeah, very excited for this. I'll be streaming this very, very soon. Oh, and also, those came with Joy-Con decals to put on your controllers. I won't be doing that, but I found that pretty funny. A little sparkly action there. There's 2 of them in there. Nintendo World Championships, the NES edition. Just another collection of bite-sized challenges from the NES days that I thoroughly enjoy. This one has a bit of a more competitive online leaderboard component to it, which is fun. It keeps things competitive, keeps things challenging. If you think you're a master at these old games, maybe try your hand at some of the challenges included here. There's like weekly stuff that you can do on the leaderboards, and just other things to unlock S ranks. And we have more than 150 challenges from 13 NES games. Of course, this got the whole big box fanfare. This box is a difficult to open box full of more difficult to open boxes, which include like art cards, replica cart of the highly sought after NES World Championships NES game. Yeah, you guys have seen all those unboxing videos already. This box was a nightmare to open. I actually have it cracked open just in case, because those tabs were nightmarish. But I love these sorts of games. I mentioned on my previous video that I uploaded here on the channel before this one, this game very much reminded me of the NES Remix Pack, which was a game that itself got me into beating my own high scores over and over again, and just like speed running kind of these old school games. So yeah, a nice little combo of games here. If you're feeling
I don't know, retro and frisky.
Oh, jump cut. You gotta experience these games with the NES Online Switch controller, by the way, for that authentic experience. One last Switch game, Unmetal. This isn't Solid Snake. This is a game that is somewhat a satire of Metal Gear Solid 1. Not so much a parody of Metal Gear Solid 1. I don't think it's more of an homage towards that game, but with a lot of tongue-in-cheek humor, just like funny stuff all around. I haven't checked this game out yet, but it was kind of weird to attain. You got to go on NewYorkGames.com, and they're the company that's selling and maybe even producing the game. Not sure, but here it is. It looks cool. It does adopt like a 16-bit art style, and yeah, like I said, it's supposed to be similar to like the SNES. Was there an SNES Metal Gear? I know for sure there was maybe at least one NES game. Colonel, I found the Metal Gear. Here it is, the Ultra Metal Gear. We're giving Solid Snake some love on this pickups video here. Saw this copy, big fan of... Oh, I thought this was the 5-screw version. I don't even know if there is a 5-screw variant of this cartridge, but you know, I would consider myself a Metal Gear aficionado. Just by proxy, my brother's an even bigger fan of the franchise. But this game is kind of weird, you know, very retro top-down perspective. And I'm not really quite sure how to sneak past the sleeping guards or the German shepherds that keep tearing my face off. But a neat game to add to the collection. Let's do some PS5 games. It's Astrobot release day today. Here it is, the standalone sequel to the digital pack-in title, which came with all PS5s, which were just supposed to be kind of like a tech demo for the DualSense's capabilities. And it turned out to be an outstanding 3D platforming collectathon of sorts, which actually received an update recently that I need to go back to and beat, because I 100%ed Astrobot Rescue Mission. That game was really, really good. It surprised a lot of people, so much so that the success has brought a standalone, full-fledged title with a lot of references to other Sony IPs. Like we have Kratos here. Has Astrobot just replaced Sackboy as kind of the mascot of the brand? You guys let me know in the comments what you think about that. I like me some Sackboy, but yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this game. Good stuff. And didn't like Little Big Planet just die? Something about the servers just vanishing. Sad day. Next up, Visions of Mana, published by Square Enix. I've lost track of how many Mana games I've collected over the past couple years, but so long as the title has Mana included, I'll probably buy it. This game is actually supposed to be a good JRPG style game from Square Enix here. At some point, I'll find the time to plow through the entire saga. Maybe not, but I heard this one was decent. So, Visions of Mana, recently released too. One last PS5 game. I finally secured myself a copy of Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. I had gifted this game to my mother-in-law. Shout out to you. On the Switch, and she was obsessed with this Metroidvania, the side-scrolling Metroidvania Prince of Persia game. And I've heard from multiple sources that this game is very, very good. And pretty much the last deciding factor in me attaining this game was the fact that it was like 75% off at Target. So thanks for that. I got myself the PS5 version because that was the one on sale. And I've never really been a Prince of Persia dude, but maybe this game will change my mind. I don't know. I've heard nothing but good things from The Lost Crown. We have a singular PS4 game, but check this out. Clive and Wrench. We have the collector's edition published by Numskull. These guys do some pretty good stuff too. I mean, look at this game. It's a box. It's a kind of a bigger box. GameStop sold it to me as new, even though it was the floor copy, which was dented and had stickers pasted all over it. Damn right, this was brand new. Let's see what's inside of this Banjo-Kazooie-like 3D platforming collectathon. A genre which I enjoy almost as much as boomer shooters and beat-em-ups. A little fridge magnet with our friends here. Banjo and Kazooie. I mean, Clive and Monkey. Monkey helps you navigate obstacles in your backpack. You got, of course, the game. We have an instruction manual, which I actually found out might have been the wrong one supplied to me by GameStop. Because this game's on the PS4, and this is a Nintendo Switch Pro controller with Nintendo Switch buttons. Right? No triangle, X, square, circle, none of that. So thanks, GameStop. That's what happens when you break the seal on brand new games and put all their innards in your drawers. You get confused. But that's okay, I guess. Maybe I have a super rare misprint. We got the original soundtrack that you can blast on your way to the gym or work. And we have some character cards. I broke the seal on these because I didn't press record like an hour ago on this pickups video. So I've already been through these cards. Let's go through them. I've heard this game is not great, but I'm going to have to check that for myself, because just take a little look at these characters. We got Dr. Dawkins, Olga Chestikov, Cybro the Dragon. That's my favorite. Ceratopple, Captain Bluebeard the Monkey Pirate, Arnis Mantis. Very nice quality on these cards, by the way. Very glossy and nice, thick cardstock. Annie Oaktree. Unitar, second favorite. Vlad the Impala, tied for second. Very nice punny names here. Pharaoh Cleocatra. Baroness Same Dice. Drew the Ripper. Is he a kangaroo? Nevermore the Scarecrow. Gluteus Maximus the Ass. Right? Donkey. Professor Nancy. And finally, your titular Clive and Wrench. The rabbit and the monkey. Like I said, I'll have to check this game out for myself and see if it sucks or if it's a legit little 3D collectathon thing. Very nice. I like the packaging. I like all the extra doodads included. And now to put it all away. Just like that. It's gone. We have a couple PS3 games. Let's start with Fear. First, Encounter Assault Recon. So, stay tuned for the end portion of this video. I have my joint pickups that I filmed with my brother. And there you'll see something related to this game. Wow, published by Sierra. Yeah, my brother really recommended this kind of like a horror first-person shooter. There's some crazy stuff going on in this game. And maybe it's like a Halloween stream. I've never played it before. What is this? A trilogy, I believe, right? I'm missing some titles to complete the series, but here it is. Fear. Dungeons and Dragons, Legends of Mystara. I hope I got that right. Published by Capcom, we have a collection of 2 arcade beat-em-ups in the Dungeons and Dragons universe, I guess. Just very old school, basic side-scrolling beat-em-ups that I thoroughly enjoy. Right, that IGS collection featured a few games ago fall right in line with this sort of game style, right? And I've been having fun with this one. I can't wait to stream it cooperatively with a buddy so that I could show you guys just how awesome Dungeons and Dragons is. This was a Japanese import. It's all in Japanese, but you can play it just fine in English. There should be an app. I think there is, like a free one, though, that you just like hold your phone's camera and it translates stuff in real time. Because there are some dialogue options that you have choices between. I'm sure I'm not missing out on the story or anything, but I'd like to know what I'm choosing every now and then. Really awesome game. Now some PS2 games. A gift from my brother. Is this a factory sealed PS2 game? I can't tell. There's some stickers that may have been surgically opened at some point, but it's in shrink wrap. I haven't cracked this one open yet. We got The Bard's Tale. I've heard this is an excellent Diablo-like. So that's interesting, right? Never really heard about this game until recently. A quest for the coin and cleavage, says the back. So some tongue-in-cheek stuff going on here. This looks pretty interesting. Kind of neat. Looking forward to trying this one out. More beat 'em ups and fighting games and stuff. And the Capcom Classics Collection Volume 2. My brother and I, when we hung out earlier this year, we blazed through like Knights of the Round, King of Dragons or something. Some beat 'em ups, some arcade beat 'em ups. They're actually not listed in the back here, but there's 20 of them. And since I'm on that arcade beat 'em up kick, this was the perfect game to add to my collection. You know, I'm a sucker for these collection style games. It adds so much value, in my opinion, to your library. So, very cool stuff. There's some like Marvel, Capcom stuff games, or maybe not Marvel. I take that back, but you know, those like mashup fighters that Capcom loves, some of them are in here. Captain Commando is an amazing game, by the way. Play that game if you haven't. I'm super pumped to have this one. PS1 games. Fear Effect. There's a part 2 to this I recently discovered, but we have a 4-disc Big Daddy game right here. Nice and complete. Thank you to my brother for buying this for me as a gift here. This game looks interesting. I have yet to try it out. I heard it's tough. You know, the controls are very archaic, dated, difficult, but the art style looks sweet. This cover just looks awesome. Rated M. I'm intrigued by this. Ninja Shadow of Darkness. I can finally cross this one off the list. Very awesome. This is sweet. Nostalgia bomb here. I remember when my brother first got his PlayStation 1. This must have been his first or second game. The other one being either like Grand Theft Auto 3 or Metal Gear Solid. I'm not really sure, but when he first got his PS1, this was amongst the first titles. And I popped it in recently just to kind of relive some memories, and this game is fun. It's a 3D brawler, I guess. Level-based, right? You just go around as this ninja trying to exact your revenge on your slain village. And really cool purple ninja suit. And fun stuff. I'll be streaming this one too. Winding down this part of the video, another gift. We got just X-Men, I guess. X-Men on the Genesis. Complete. Cool. Checked this game out very briefly, and it didn't captivate me. Maybe I need to give it a little bit more time, but I was like Wolverine wandering in a forest. Probably didn't do the assignment correctly, but the art looks so freaking cool on this. This is a nice little piece to add to the shelf there. I have a small Genesis collection, but I like to think that the titles that I do have are neat. So here's X-Men with the special edition poster inside. I don't think that's and that holds true 1,000 years later, but here it is. Still got the little tab. Cool stuff. Thanks a lot, man. Couple Game Boy Advance games. The very small Tekken Advance. Zoom in on that. Crikey, look at the size of that. I checked this game out briefly. I had to. It was on my Game Boy Advance wish list. And it's pretty sweet. Like, kind of in an interesting way. The way they packed this tiny cartridge with some pseudo polygonal graphics. The character roster is not complete. I think like Ogre isn't here. And it's kind of a take on Tekken 3, right? Just with a lot of compromises, of course. But hey, I beat the game a couple times with 2 different characters, and I had fun. Double Dragon Advance, complete in box. Ooh, published by Atlas. I heard somewhere around the internet that this is arguably the best Double Dragon ever. I did check it out. It's tough. It's a hard game, but it is a beat 'em up, and I love beat 'em ups. And this game is super solid. It is so ridiculously good for being a Game Boy Advance game. And I don't mean that like, Game Boy Advance games usually suck, because it has a quality library. It's just, so many years in the future, this game holding up on something that was just a little handheld system. Awesome. Really, really cool. Much to my dismay, I heard there's a Double Dragon collection already out. I'm kind of on the waiting list to attain a physical copy of that. But this game was kind of pricey, and it's also included in that much cheaper collection now. But, oh well. Who cares? It looks awesome, and it's going to look awesome on my shelf with all my Game Boy Advance games I just recently recovered. Last but not least for this part of the video, Pokemon Conquest on the DS. This is another game that I've been seeking for quite a while now. Pretty unique for the Pokemon franchise here, because it's a turn-based strategy game. And that's right, like on a big battlefield, you have little Pokemon, so it's not your traditional battles. It's a turn-based strategy, and pretty decent so far. I have maybe like an hour's worth of game time here on the campaign mode or whatever, but perfectly fine in my opinion. If you're a Poke fan, if you like turn-based strategy games, I do recommend this. A little bit difficult to come by, sure, but if you see it at one of those mystical garage sales that everyone's always talking about for $5, buy it. Buy it. Buy it now. Good stuff. Hey guys, it's time for another joint pickups video. I'm here with Churrasco Voltorb Gaming. Hi. It's been almost a year since we did the last...
Maybe 10 months, maybe something like that?
Something like that. And we picked up some games while we hung out together, and I think Churrasco is going to go over some recent finds. So here we go.
So as we all know, guys, GameStop and physical media in general is dying, no matter what anyone says, it really is. And they had been giving away all these sales. So they did a buy 4 for 20, which is usually when you find all the trash. And admittedly, so these are not point of really the joint pickups that me and Gnarly Seabass did, but we have 4 games that I picked up for 20 bucks. The first one is Trials Fusion. I had never played a Trials Fusion game before this, so complete, pretty nice. I can see the appeal. I played it for a while, and I really, really enjoyed Trials Fusion for the time I was playing it. Do you have any experience with Trials?
I've actually been looking for this game. I know it's had some DLC and stuff. I'm not sure if this version includes it. So there's several like different cover art variants for it, but very pick up and play, right? And like physics based.
Yeah.
It gets pretty tough, I've heard. But yeah, no, this game looks definitely neat. So I'm looking out for it.
I think it's rather old. It's like 2015 or 2016. And I was playing and I saw that one of my buddies actually had the race against ghosts of your friends, their times. And I saw that my buddy Moscow had his runs there, and he beat me on every single one. His ghost beat me on every single one but one. So that was pretty cool. But fun game, and the kids really like it. Safe to play around the kids for all you little ones. The next one of that deal was Prey. And I remember this game had a lot of fanfare when it released. Back in the day, a few years ago. I'm not exactly sure how old. Really neat, actually. I really like the manual and the reversible art, or like at least the detailing of the helmet of the prey person, whatever the heck he is. Think BioShock in space, and you kind of have an idea. I liked it, but I don't know. I was telling Gnarly Seabass earlier, games that I sometimes buy for these low prices of like $5, unless it really grips me, I don't feel compelled to have to complete them.
Yeah, I mean, we all, I think, get that sort of feeling when it comes to game collecting, right? If you get like a high-ticket item that becomes your priority on your must-play list. But yeah, I've heard good things about Prey. I'm the type of guy, though, that no matter how old the game is, I never want to spoil it for myself.
Yeah.
So I have like 20-year-old games that I have no idea what they're about. And now, granted, this isn't a 20-year-old game, but again, like I haven't looked at too much like gameplay and stuff, so as to not spoil even what the gameplay is like. And heard it's kind of like a thriller, kind of spooky, outer space stuff, and you're being stalked, I think, by some virus.
Yeah, it's a cool gimmick. Like the bad guy. This is very, very spoiler light, but the main entity that you're fighting is this thing that kind of shapeshifts into people or objects, and it's kind of crazy. You know, so it sounds neat. I'll maybe check it out again. Pray. And we have 2 more for that deal. First one I'm going to touch on is Ace Combat Assault Horizon. I know Gnarly Seabass recently had this, I think a few videos back on his pickups. I mean, for the price that it was going, I don't have a single Ace Combat game, and this is supposed to be the kooky arcadey spin-off. So I decided to give it a whirl, and the game looks great, sounds great, but I just don't think I have the patience to pick up really intricate dogfighting games, and the controls just, I felt like a moron. Like it was the tutorial stage, and it was just ridiculous how I kept sweeping behind the enemy planes and trying to blow them up and missing every single time, or missing the lock on. And my son was there. I was like, Dad, there he is, follow him. And it's like, and I just felt like an idiot. Like it was just horrible.
Yeah, the only reason I picked up this game was I've heard some pretty interesting opinions online, and just like this is the Ace Combat game that goes completely off the rails when it comes to its plot. So that it's kind of like a cheesy action movie or something like that. So, you know, being that it's somewhat the black sheep in the Ace Combat series, that was the appeal for me at least. But I never actually played it, and now I kind of never want to play it because if the controls suck, then that's kind of a shame. But you know, cool piece.
Yeah, and I mean, granted, if you're an Ace Combat fan and you got a hang of the controls, then hey, maybe you're you know, you could get a hold of this one too. But to give you an idea, the gummy bear is having an aneurysm there. To give you an idea, it's at one point in the game you're having dogfights over Miami Beach. I mean, you know. That's,
oh, really?
Yeah. So
that's pretty awesome.
It's kind of neat, but really weird. And the last one is a greatest hits copy of Persona 5. Now,
there's so many versions of this freaking game.
all you, and of course this one's in my PS5 because I was giving it a try. All you senpais and Narnias and whatever you guys call yourselves nowadays have loved this game, and I have tried. I have tried twice now, with Persona 4 and Persona 5, and I just can't get into it. I hear it's kind of a slow burn, but I played this I think for already 4 hours, and I've gotten into like maybe 5 combat encounters, and the story doesn't grip me. It's not really my cup of tea, the anime thing, but I tried because it's such a widely respected and appreciated game that I had to give it a shot. And for $5, I figured I can't really go wrong if eventually it does grow on me. But I'm not giving up on it 100% yet. I'm going to try it again because I really like the Shin Megami, the other ones, the Nocturne, and I've heard good things about the newer ones. So I know this is a different series. It's a spin-off of that because that originated first. But yeah, not my thing. But I'm glad I get to give it a try at some point.
Yeah, I've never, for myself, never really delved into the Persona or even the Shin Megami series, but you know they've been just sung praises left and right. It's definitely something I want to check out at some point, and Persona 5 seems to be a lot of people's favorites as of late. So at some point, I want to give it the time it deserves. I can't just like dive into a huge JRPG, but maybe you'll eventually have some fun with this one if you put some more hours into it.
Yeah, maybe. Or I'll just get creeped out by how weeby it is and never play it again. That could also happen very easily. And now that we're done with all the 20 for or 4 games for 20 junk, let's actually get to the actual pickups. But starting off with something really cool. This was gifted to me by Gnarly Seabass.
Heck yeah.
Super Mario All-Stars on the Wii. I have this on the Super NES, the cart, but having it on the Wii is really neat. I love this packaging, honestly. I think it's really cool looking. I'm really excited to check this out. But now it gives me a reason to buy more toys, like a classic controller, because I think this is very compatible with it. And this particular one was part of, I guess, of the box set. Because when I scanned it on my collecting app, it wouldn't tell me, like, no, not recognized. So that's where it comes from. Because normally, right here, it has like a different like bestseller banner or something weird like that. I forget what it has, or a not for resale banner across the front. But yeah, this is a cool game. If you guys don't know what it is, it's basically Mario 1, 2, and 3 from the NES, but remastered into SNES graphics, and also the actual Mario Brothers 2. Not the Doki Doki Panic reskin where they lift turnips and throw them at each other type of thing. It's the actual Mario Brothers 2 that was dubbed to be too difficult for Americans to understand. So they kept it exclusively in Japan for a very long time.
Yep, Lost Levels is included on there, which is really cool. To be honest, I don't think this is the worst game to play with a sideways Wii remote, because the Wiimote, has a decent D-pad, I would say, right? And you only need really a couple buttons, a couple other face buttons, but definitely if you want to, have a more authentic experience, maybe you should invest in getting one of those classic controllers. But yeah, really, kind of a staple, I think, for the Wii collection.
Definitely. There's some games you just kind of need to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool, and I really appreciate the gift. Thank you so much.
Of course, man.
All right, let's get to the actual stuff that we bought together.
I'm actually gonna start retro this time. We got Sky Shark.
Flippin' Sky Shark.
This game is older than me. Obviously an NES. Ooh, published by Taito.
Yeah.
Taito makes great shoot 'em ups.
Yeah, so the NES has a lot of really cool shoot 'em ups. I'm not like a shmup guy. Churrasco really
Oh, yeah,
is,
I love
and
my
he was
shoot 'em
like,
ups.
"Oh, dude, you got to get Sky Shark." I mean, tough as nails, retro shoot 'em up, right? But I feel like if I just dedicate some more time to it, I could possibly become a pro Sky Shark guy. And not much else to say about it. The soundtrack is cool.
Music's great.
And I just got to get good, but here's a good shoot 'em up for my collection.
They're a pretty common game and lots of fun. If you guys even remotely like shoot 'em ups, I highly recommend Sky Shark. It's a great game.
This guy looks constipated.
He looks a little poopsie in his plane. So when we were perusing the games, I never thought that the Wii would be kind of like apparently the system I was collecting for on this particular trip. I have Mad World here. I remember Gnarly Seabass playing this when we were kids, and I was like, that's a really flippin' violent game for the Wii. Like, I never thought that little motion control, like, hey, have a boxing match with your grandmother type of console would have this, where you can also chainsaw your grandmother in half, or she can watch you precisely, right? Chainsaw, throw someone into a propeller blade. I never played it, but I spectated you playing this a lot, and I thought it looked really cool.
An infamously violent and gory game for
And
the
a Wii exclusive.
It's a Wii exclusive,
Yeah.
so this is the only way you can play this game, and highly stylized, right? Black and white with dashes of red as you literally chainsaw dudes in half. I kind of got God Hand vibes because of the
I see
over-the-top
that. Yeah.
violence in the game. And I mean, really, really cool. I think this is a Wii essential. Just it looks really cool. Minimal waggle, maybe.
I think there was some like basic movement to throw people into things. Maybe that's about it.
There it is, developed by Platinum Games.
there you go.
That's that. There it is. Yeah, like you can throw people into like garbage disposals and just, you guys know the deal. Mad World, old game, but really, really cool.
And a weird factoid: that character, whoever he is, I don't know his name. He is in Anarchy Reigns, which is a PS3 maybe exclusive, and it was like an online mainly game. And I don't know. I just thought that was kind of interesting.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Mad World.
Yeah, super neat. Oh, I like this one.
Pitfall, Mayan Adventure. So I have nostalgia for this game. I would always spectate Churrasco play this game. I never saw him beat it. Allegedly, he did.
Oh, I did.
Cool action platformer with a lot of, I guess, gaming pedigree, right? I love the art in this game. I love the music. There's definitely a challenge, right, with these older games, and it's just one of few SNES games that were left on my list for collecting, kind of like childhood memory games. So, I had to scoop this one up, and every time I come visit Churrasco, I find some pretty awesome game deals that I don't find back home. So very well priced and it looks...
Super underrated, underappreciated game. Think Uncharted 16-bit.
There it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Pitfall.
My next, I had another Wii game. WarioWare Smooth Moves.
I would have never thought Churrasco would enjoy the Wii ever in a million years. Tell us more about this one.
So this is really cool. So it's from my understanding, the WarioWare games are basically a collection of mini games, and this one does not disappoint. I thought this was a lot pricier than what I paid for it. I think it's a cheaper, easier to find game, and it's really awesome. The collection of mini games are really goofy, like plucking nose hairs out of people, helping people falling from buildings, swatting bugs. I don't know. It's just really, really fun. And I was very surprised by how much enjoyment I got out of it, and it's actually might be my favorite of all the games I play tested so far. This is the most fun I've had playing the pickups so far, and I think the kids will really, really get a kick out of this one.
Yeah, this is definitely one with a lot of waggle in it, but it works really well. It works really well just because of the eclectic collection of mini games here. It's funny, right? It goes along with the silly theme of the game to just be waggling your Wiimote like a psychopath. So I'm glad that you actually scooped this one, that you actually enjoyed it. I'm sure the kids are gonna have a blast with this game too. So
yeah,
very neat. Very neat.
Very cool game. Good recommendation. And if you guys see it out in the wild and you feel like being a goof and swinging your arms around in your living room, breaking, check out Smooth Moves.
My sole Switch game, well, maybe I'll edit the video or something, but oh man, Dragon Marked for Death. I've been looking out for this game for a long time. A side-scrolling, sprite-based action platformer. Kind of think of like Mega Man X.
That sounds cool.
It just looked really neat. I don't know a whole lot about it, but in all the YouTube videos that I watch of recommendations, this one appears very often, and this is the very first time I ever saw it out in the wild, and I had to scoop it up. So, there it is. This is my only Switch game, but this is definitely some streaming content for sure.
That looks really cool. Yeah, if I ever told you this earlier, if I had a Switch, I'd be in trouble because I'd buy the million games that they want from them, and this looks like something I'll be interested in for sure. I really like the art style, and Mega Man platformer stylish stuff is always a-okay in my book.
Heck yeah, Dragon Marked for Death.
Next, I got I'm gonna go to a PS3 game that's not super exciting, and some of you might be like, barf. Final Fantasy 13. A really, really mint copy. It looks really nice.
Maybe the guy never played
Maybe
this
he
game.
never played it. It just sat there. Like his grandmother gifted it to Billy, and then Billy was like, "I hate you, Grandma," and threw it in somewhere and never played it.
Yeah.
But the reason I got it is because this is one of those rare times that Square actually went ahead, or Square Enix went ahead, and they made sequels directly to a mainline Final Fantasy game. But not only did they make one, they made two. They made Final Fantasy 13-2 and 13-3. I hear that 13-2 is phenomenal, and I hear 13-3 is garbage. And 13 is just divisive because it was criticized a long time ago as being like the hallway simulator walking game, and you just walked on a marked path. But right now, with the way that open world games kind of take up all my life, and I really like to more bite-sized kind of options, this might be exactly what the doctor ordered to kind of just guide me. Let me play. I don't want a million side quests to pop up or a million icons. So I am actually pretty pumped for this. I think it's acquired like a cult classic status after. Like a lot of people look back on it somewhat fondly.
Yeah, you've been a Final Fantasy fan for a long
Yes.
time, right? And then at some point around this era is when I think you kind of strayed away from it. But it'll be interesting to see if this stuff is actually really cool. Mm-hmm. So let me know how you enjoy the hallway simulator, I guess.
It might be neat. The only thing I can say that I don't like immediately is what's up with these shit spines. Whoever's in charge of this stuff, stop it.
I got...
This is a really good one.
Yeah. From the Telltale games, The Walking Dead, this is the definitive series, so it has all 4 seasons, 400 days. I watched maybe The Walking Dead first season when it first came out like 12 years ago. We're going on like that much time, but yeah. Churrasco knows a lot more about this one. It's kind of one of those narrative experiences with some button prompts and stuff. Can you tell us a little bit more about this zombie, cel-shaded looking cool stuff.
So I am really, really liking the Telltale game series. I never thought I would, but I played this one first because I saw that it was a good deal. And I'm always a sucker for whenever I see a collection that has everything baked onto the disc. Because all four seasons are here. There's 2 downloadable contents. The 400 Days is a downloadable content thing that comes on, and Michonne is another one. And it's got the extras, like the galleries and things that you would expect. But besides everything being on one disc for you to own, the game itself, this was my first Telltale, and I really love how the choices really feel impactful. And they're big choices. This isn't just like, hey, do you want to wear the red shoes or the green shoes? It's like, no, do you want this character to die or this one to die?
And that follows you throughout the entire season.
Through seasons. It bleeds into what characters are in the next seasons, things like that. Like the choices come back even seasons after to haunt you. And they're really big, impactful decisions. And I love the art style. It's like a comic book. It looks like just like the Walking Dead comic book. And it looks phenomenal. And there's a little bit more action. Like there's some quick time events, not just choices and dialogue, but it's expertly written. It's really great. The ambience is fantastic. I played this thing nonstop for about a month until I beat the whole thing between work and everything I have else going on. And I love it. I love Telltale stuff. And this is, I think Werewolf Among Us might be slightly better in my opinion.
I gotta get that one too.
But this is an amazing game.
Yeah, glad to have the collection here because they were piecemealing this stuff for, I don't know, a couple years. And then, they just squirted all out on the PS4 compilation disc right here. So I'm happy to have this and I'll check it out, at some point.
It's a great game, and don't be a sucker and buy the separate because they sell, seasons 1, 2, and 3, and it's physically standalone.
This is the one.
Don't do that. Just buy this.
Yeah, try to keep an eye out for this one.
All right. Next one is a big nostalgia bomb for me. Star Wars Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron 2.
This one's, I don't know if it's a hidden gem, right? It's Star Wars. Everyone loves Star Wars.
Yeah. I just really like it. I remember this is another one of the games that you played on your GameCube that I loved. Because it looks so amazing. The dogfights in space with the X-Wing. It looked really cool. And we just talked about dogfights sucking butt earlier, right? With with Assault Horizon. But this, if you can make a game control this well in space, why can't you make a game control just as well a generation later in a jet plane? This controls so much better. And it's such a cheap and easy to find game, and I have so many fond memories. I just had to go for it.
Yeah, myself, I never got past like the second mission, maybe because I was like, I don't know, 8 years old at the time, but we popped it in yesterday just to play test it, and holy crap, it looks so good too. It looks, it looks amazing, 60 frames and all that good stuff. I'll be curious to find out if you actually end up beating this game. Yeah, you got, the Hoth battle and all that good stuff, but definitely a really cool game to add to your GameCube collection.
Yeah, I'm super pumped to own this one.
Rogue Squadron 2. It's there's a part 1 obviously, but
I think there's even a 3 later on. The one.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but this is the one that I had as a kid, and it's really good.
Yeah,
it looks really good. And, yeah.
All right, we're winding down. I only have 2 left, and I think Gnarly has 3 left. But these are all. Nothing in this collection I think has been kind of crazy, like a high ticket, big value, but really neat stuff, like quality stuff in the end.
Meaty pickups for sure. I'll splice the video at some point, but you guys would have probably already seen that I got Fear 1, and that was a gift from Churrasco, so thanks a lot for now getting me into this series. We got kind of like this creepy ring girl, and it's like Call of Duty mixed with horror, right?
Yeah,
first person shooter and monsters and kind of creepy at times. You know more about this series. Can you tell us something about Fear 2?
Well, Fear 1, 2, and 3, I went through this like thing where I was playing all the shoot 'em ups shooters I could find on the PS3, like the Resistance series, the Killzone games, and the Fear series. So I was really surprised by how much I liked the first Fear, considering it's so old. And Fear 2, out of the trilogy, is my favorite. It's definitely the creepiest, in my opinion. Some people didn't like it because it was more action-based, and the protagonist has nothing to do with the other games. But the game itself is really fantastic, and it looks great for how old it is on the console. It runs perfectly. It's a fun time, and it has some quirky mechanics with mechs. Little spoiler there. but it's really, really cool. I think you'll really get a kick out of this series.
I'll be keeping an eye out for the third one then, so I can complete the trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
But this is a pretty minty copy, and I'm happy to add it to my collection.
All right, next up, I have a really nice collector's edition with the art book of 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim.
An Atlas game.
Atlas Vanillaware.
Vanillaware?
Yeah.
Nice.
So with a slipcover, an art book, which isn't really much. But
Any waifus?
oh, there's a lot for you weebazoids that you want. You get this little art book and the Persona 5 copy over there. Lock yourselves in the bathroom, and you guys will probably have a ball. But for me, it's just for an extra $10. It had the art book.
And it's not sticky.
No, it's
the
not
pages
sticky.
are not sticking together.
Nothing
That's
weird
rare.
there, you know. No, it's I've heard mixed things. You either love this game or you don't. I saw footage of it. Like the combat doesn't seem like it. You know, for mechs, like I like mechs. I love mechs, and you would think that they would really harp in on that, but it looks kind of weird, like a number crunching tactical game with an overview map that's in 3D or something. With like, I don't know.
It sounds interesting.
It's like something that's pulled like on a CAD system. If you guys ever did engineering, like that's what it looks like. But the game itself, the main meat and potatoes of it is like the walking around the school, because there's always a school with these like you senpais and Narnias, and there's like a kind of dating sim weird thing and lots of dialogue with lots of options and little side quests and building relationships, I guess. But yeah, this is one of those rare Atlas Vanillaware games that is super cheap right now, even this collector's edition. And I figured, why not? I'll give it a try. I've really loved everything that Vanillaware has done. Dragon's Crown, Odin Sphere, and most recently, the phenomenal Unicorn Overlord. So I just couldn't resist in really picking this one up. It was very cheap and in really nice shape. And I get an art book, and I get to make jabs at people online. So yeah, 13 Sentinels.
Interesting. I got 2 more games, and
That's
here's
a really cool one.
Sly Cooper, Thieves in Time. So, I was thinking I had the full collection, right? Because I recently picked up the PS3 trilogy with all the games baked on the disc, and I thought I was set, right? So when I saw this laying around the game store, I just, threw it off to the side. But then Churrasco let me know this is actually the 4th game in the series, in the Sly Cooper series. I have yet to play even part 1, but you know me, a frenzied collector. I had to have this. And this is back when they were doing that weird cross-buy thing where you would buy this game, they would give you a digital download code for the Vita version. That's pretty interesting. If you have a 3D TV, remember those things?
Oh.
Yeah, you can play this game in 3D and have Sly Cooper slap you across the face with his flop.
With a shepherd crook.
With his tail, and here you have that guy. And I don't know, the whole gang. The whole gang's here. But yeah, cool game. Have you played any of the Sly Cooper games?
Yeah, I played the first one. It's great, and it looks amazing because the cell shaded
cell
really
shading.
always holds up really well. It's supposed to be a very beloved series. I've only delved into the first, like I said. I have the first and the second on the PS2. Still looking for a copy of the third, and and this one, of course.
Very nice little Sony mascot action platformer type deal that I'm happy to add to the collection here.
Nice. And my final game is my favorite pickup. I am super duper genuinely excited for the God of War Origins collection.
Ooh,
that
boy.
once again, the 3D TVs. Yeah, that's great. It's complete with a little manual. Really nice condition. We were at our favorite game store down south, and I was looking through all the PS3 games because I've been looking for this one for a long time. And I asked the owner, I was like, by any chance, do you have God of War Origins? Not thinking that he would say sure. And he was like, yeah, I have it right here. And I, without even asking the price, I said, let me get it. And that was basically it. Why I'm so excited is because these 2 games, as some of you may know, Chains of Olympus and Ghost of Sparta, are exclusive to the PSP, or were until this collection. And I'm pretty sure you can download them now on PSN somewhere or another. But, we gotta have physical. And these are the only 2 God of War games out of every single God of War game in existence that I have not played. So once I complete these,
I'm going to turn into Kratos.
I'm just gonna chime in with the tiniest gripe. This cover sucks.
Yeah,
It's kind of
it
cool, I
does.
guess, that it shows what the other one, right? It features the other two, but maybe we could have done some original art.
We could have tried a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, this is awesome. This is really cool, right? The PSP games now brought to the PS3, and yeah, it was just kind of hiding in one of those stacks behind the cashier, right? The ones that where the goodies usually lie, and man, it's almost like it came down, it descended from the heavens because you were looking for this game for a long time, and you were just like almost like dreaming of finding it on this trip, and there it was.
In the weirdest places. Some of you remember our last joints, I picked up the God of War Ascension, and I've beaten it since.
Yes.
And now I just need to finish these two.
So cool that it's baked on the disc. You know, these experiences might be a little bit more molecular or like smaller in scale, right?
Which is
because yeah, I mean, you got to experience them. And here, I guess you see the chronological order in which you should play them, right?
Yeah,
Chains of
I'm
Olympus.
glad they have that graphic. I guess maybe it's for people like me that don't know what order. Well, I can Wikipedia it, I guess, but. But yeah, I'm really pumped to finally get this one, and I'm definitely going to dive into this probably in the next week or so.
This looks awesome, man. Congrats on finding Kratos.
Yeah. Last few games.
And we're going to end this video on another collection here.
Just picked this up less than an hour ago.
Yes, I'm still sweating from the nasty heat outside.
What's that?
Oh, you got a 3D TV? Well, I got 3 games to play on your 3D TV. So, obviously, all the Killzone trilogy, the original one, because now there's Shadowfall. I do have that one. So, I had to get the originals, you know. I mean, what is there to say about Killzone that you guys don't know already, right? These were phenomenal, like cutting-edge graphics games. And just pretty good first-person shooters. You've beaten all of them, Churrasco?
Yes. I have beaten actually only 2 and 3. Killzone 1, when it came out, I wanted it, but I missed that train. And I came back to it after, but it's kind of rough to come back to 1, I will admit that.
Okay.
It's still a good game, but I had a million other things to play, so I kind of left it behind. And 2 and 3 are fantastic games, though. And back when the online was up for these games, it was actually something. Sometimes I'd rather play that than Call of Duty when Call of Duty was at the top. It really was cool.
Yeah, like the gunplay was weighty,
Yeah.
and just like the graphics were cool. So, you know, I'm pumped to have this trilogy now in my collection. I'm definitely gonna play them in chronological order and see what all the hype was about, because these games have some pretty good pedigree too in Sony's line of stuff. So,
And one of the coolest things was honestly where you found it. This is a GameStop find. I mean,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Like we happened to go, hey, let's go check out this GameStop real quick, and good thing we did.
yeah, GameStop is flailing around on almost like it's dying breaths. So I think they're whipping out some cool stuff that they had hidden in their warehouses, right? They're selling a lot more retro stuff.
Yeah, or maybe they're embracing the fact that they have all this right now. GameStop is such an established company, even though they're floundering a little right now, but they're probably doing better than mom and pop places. So maybe they're going to start cannibalizing everything and just taking in every game and selling everything.
Yeah, because the prices were actually really good for these games. They're not like exorbitant or anything. So, you know, whether you hate GameStop or not, and you like collecting games, I would make a little pit stop at the GameStop, because they have some good stuff. Honestly.
Yeah, they really did. But yeah, that concludes our pickups. That's kind of it. I have my selection for my favorite of mine. Smooth Moves for sure.
That's
is,
crazy.
My favorite.
It's
of
insane.
The stuff that I picked up. I mean, once I play Origins, that'll probably be take it up. But yeah, that's kind of it. I don't really have a stinker, but the stinker would probably come from the games that I bought from the buy 4 for $20, and unfortunately, the stinker would have to go to Assault Horizon.
Yeah.
I just honestly, I think it's a user error. I think I just suck at the game.
It could be. It could be a skill issue. And as for me, to be honest, right now I'm very pumped to play this game. I never thought in a million years that I would just find it out in the wild. No stinkers as of yet, but yeah, really cool, Churrasco, that we've been, you know, doing our little joint pickups videos. It seems a little bit more frequent now.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can do some more in the
Heck yeah.
future. But always a blast doing a co-ops video with you, Churrasco.
Definitely.
We pick up some pretty quality stuff.
No, we definitely did, and that Mewtwo ball is pretty badass.
Yeah, the other one had like some urine stains on it, so I made sure not to get that one.
urine. That's what happens. They pee into a gel mold and freeze their urine. Everybody knows this.
This
and
is
now
true.
you do too.
All right, guys. Let us know in the comments what you think of piss-stained Mewtwo.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for having me on the channel.
Okay, bye.